ever wondered what are the rules of trail running etiquette? Let's delve into this fascinating topic. Trail running etiquette isn't just a set of rules to make us feel good about ourselves. It's a code of conduct that ensures everyone's safety and enjoyment. When we're out there pounding the trails, we're part of a community that shares an appreciation for the great outdoors and the thrill of the run. Yet, like any community, we need guidelines to maintain harmony and respect. That's where trail running etiquette comes into play. It's about understanding and respecting the environment, our fellow runners, and even those who don't run but share our trails. It's about making sure that every time we lace up our shoes and hit the trail, we're doing so in a way that enhances rather than detracts from everyone's experience. So without further ado, let's jump into the 5 essential rules of trail running etiquette. Rule number 1, yielding the trail. Picture yourself on a beautiful day, bounding along a trail, your heart pumping, your breath steady, the world just a blur of green and brown. Suddenly, a hiker with a large backpack comes into view, or maybe it's a mountain biker, or perhaps even a horse rider. What do? In the world of trail running, as in life, it's essential to respect others' space. This is where yielding the trail comes into play. It's not just about politeness, it's about safety too. Let's dive into the scenarios when you should yield. Firstly, if you're moving downhill and encounter someone climbing up, let them pass. Uphill travelers typically have the right of way because they may not be able to stop or change direction as quickly or safely as those moving downhill. Secondly, if you're running and come across hikers or walkers, slow down, make your presence known, and give them space. Remember, the trail isn't a racetrack. It's a shared space where everyone has the right to enjoy their own pace. Thirdly, when you encounter equestrians or mountain bikers, it's always safer to yield. Horses can be easily spooked, and cyclists might not be able to stop quickly. So step off the trail and let them pass. Now, how do you yield without causing inconvenience or harm? It's simple. When you see someone approaching, slow down, move to one side of the trail, and allow them to pass. If you're in a group, don't block the entire trail. Instead, go single file or step off the trail briefly. Always communicate your intentions clearly. A simple on your left or passing on your right can prevent confusion and accidents. Yielding the trail isn't just about following rules, it's about fostering a sense of community, respect, and harmony among all trail users. It's about ensuring that everyone can enjoy the beauty and challenge of the trails without fear or frustration. So the next time you lace up your running shoes and hit the trail, remember rule number 1. Remember, the trail is for everyone to enjoy. Be courteous and yield when necessary. Rule number 2, leave no trace. Now let's dive into what this means, because it's not just about picking up after ourselves. It's about preserving the beauty and integrity of the trails we love so much. Picture this. You're running along your favorite trail, the sun is shining, birds are singing, and suddenly you stumble upon a discarded water bottle or a snack wrapper. It's jarring, isn't it? It shatters the illusion of being one with nature, reminding us of our human impact. Leaving no trace is about more than just not littering. It's about respecting the natural world and its inhabitants. It's about understanding that we are guests in these spaces and should act accordingly. The principle of leave no trace is a commitment to minimizing our impact on the environment so that others can enjoy it just as we have. So how can we ensure we're leaving no trace? Well, first off, anything you bring with you on the trail should leave with you. This includes water bottles, snack wrappers, tissues, anything that wasn't there before you arrived. If there aren't any trash receptacles on the trail, carry a small bag with you to collect your waste and dispose of it properly once you're home. This simple act can significantly reduce the amount of litter on our trails. Now you might be thinking, what about biodegradable items like fruit peels or cores? While it's true that these items will eventually break down, they are not native to the environment and can still have a negative impact. Animals might eat them and get sick, or they could introduce non-native seeds into the environment. So the rule still stands: if you bring it in, you take it out. And finally, let's talk about wildlife and vegetation. It's essential to avoid disturbing these as much as possible. Stick to the trail, admire animals from a distance, and leave plants as you found them. Remember, we're just visitors in their home. Leaving no trace ensures we keep our trails beautiful and safe for everyone to enjoy. Rule number 3, stay on the trail. There's a certain allure to going off the beaten path, isn't there? It's tempting to venture into the unknown to explore what lies beyond the worn footpaths. But here's the thing. When it comes to trail running, straying from the designated path isn't just unwise, it's downright disrespectful. And let's delve into why that is. Let's start with the environmental impact. Trails are carefully planned and maintained to minimize the disruption to the local flora and fauna. Every time a runner veers off the trail, they risk trampling sensitive vegetation, disturbing wildlife habitats, and causing soil erosion. It's a domino effect, really. One person going off trail might not seem like a big deal, but imagine if every runner decided to make their own path. The cumulative effect could be devastating to the ecosystem. Now let's talk about personal safety. Trails are designed with your safety in mind. They steer you clear of hazardous areas, unstable grounds, and potentially dangerous wildlife. Going off trail could mean venturing into uncharted territory where the risk of injury is significantly higher. Think about it. Would you rather run on a well-trodden path where the potential hazards have been identified and mitigated, or would you want to gamble with the unknown? Furthermore, veering off the trail could lead to getting lost. Even the most experienced trail runners can lose their bearings in unfamiliar terrain. And in the worst-case scenario, a simple trail run could turn into a full-blown rescue mission. Staying on the trail is a mark of a responsible runner. It shows respect for the environment, for the trail caretakers, and for the other runners. It's a simple rule, but one that has far-reaching implications. So the next time you're out there pounding the trail with your heart racing and the wind in your hair, remember, the trail is your guide, your protector, and your promise to the environment. Staying on the trail is not just about your safety, but also about preserving the environment. Rule number 4, managing your pets. It's undeniable our furry friends make great companions on the trail. But as with all things, there are some guidelines to follow. Imagine this. You're out on a trail run, the wind is in your hair, you're feeling the rhythm of your stride, and suddenly you're tripped up by an overly excited off-leash dog. Not the most pleasant experience, is it? This is why managing your pets on the trail is crucial. Most trails have specific regulations about leashing pets. The reasons behind these rules are manifold. Firstly, they prevent unexpected encounters between your pet and wildlife. While it's a joy to see your dog frolicking freely, it's not quite as delightful when they're chasing after a squirrel or spooking a herd of deer. Secondly, leashing your pet reduces the risk of them getting lost. Trails can often diverge and wind around in complex patterns. An off-leash pet could easily get confused and lose their way. Thirdly, leashed pets are less likely to disturb other trail users. Not everyone on the trail is a dog lover, and some might even have phobias. Keeping your pet leashed ensures that everyone can enjoy the trail in their own way. It's also essential to remember that managing your pet isn't just about leashing. It's about training them to behave well on the trail. This means teaching them not to jump on people or bark incessantly. And of course, always clean up after your pet. Leave no trace applies to our pets as well, after all. So, when you're packing for your next trail run, don't forget to pack a leash and some bags for your pet's waist. And remember, a well-managed pet makes for a happier trail experience for everyone. To wrap it up, when it comes to trail etiquette, it's not just about us humans. Our pets have a role to play too. And as their guardians, it's our responsibility to ensure they're on their best behavior. Remember, your furry friends also need to follow the rules to ensure a fun and safe experience for all. Rule number 5, be considerate. This is a cornerstone of trail running etiquette. Being considerate encompasses a myriad of behaviors, all of which contribute to a more pleasant and harmonious experience on the trail. Let's start with noise. Keeping noise to a minimum is a simple yet effective way to show consideration. This allows others to enjoy the serenity of nature uninterrupted. Next, not blocking the trail. If you're taking a breather or tying your shoelaces, step off the trail to avoid becoming an obstacle for others. Lastly, respect. This means acknowledging other trail users with a nod or a smile, giving right of way when necessary, and being aware that the trail is a shared space. Remember, the trail isn't a personal playground, it's a community, a place where people come to enjoy nature, find peace, and push their limits. Being considerate makes the trail a pleasant place for everyone. So, those were the 5 essential rules of trail running etiquette. Let's take a moment to recap. Firstly, we discussed the importance of yielding the trail. It's all about being aware of your surroundings and giving way to others where necessary. Secondly, we touched on the leave no trace principle. It's crucial to keep our trails clean by carrying out whatever we carry in. Thirdly, we emphasized the need to stay on the trail. This not only protects the environment but also ensures your safety. Fourthly, we talked about managing your pets. It's important to keep them under control at all times to ensure they don't disturb wildlife or other trail users. Lastly, we touched on the golden rule. Be considerate. Respect all trail users, whether they are hikers, bikers, or other runners. Remember, the trail is a shared space. Let's respect it and each other. Happy running!